In this demonstration, we're going to show a migration from an iSeries i10800 to a Velos Tenant OS partition. Using Ansible Automation Platform, we're going to access our workflow to help with the migration of the big IP. It has different stages in it, so when we go through them, we'll show different parts of the stages and what they're doing. The next piece, we're going to log into the source, the i10800 big IP, and show off some of the configurations that are already done on it. Right now, we're showing the different tenants that we've already deployed within the big IP. So we're showing there are multiple applications and multiple tenants. Some are working, some are not. We are also going to show the device configuration information, the host name. It's running 15.1.10.6 as its version. Under our resource provisioning, we're going to show that LTM, ASM, and APM are deployed on it. And our self IPs, which have all ending of .80 addresses that will be migrated as part of the process, including some of the VLANs that will be transitioned over. Also, the IP address management for this system will be 14.80. Next, we're going to log into our Velos chassis partition. We're going to verify that there are no tenants deployed. The only tenant image that we have is a 17.5 image, and there are no VLANs that are a part of the partition at this time. As the code is launching, we're going to go through stage 1 through 3, which is a lot of the backup configurations of the master key, the crypto key, the system config, and the UCS files. So we're going to go ahead and launch our code. Once it begins, there's a cleanup phase that's only used for me because I'm rerunning this code many times. The 1.0 is going to actually get the master key and set the crypto key of the original source, the i10800. So we're going to get its master key and make sure that as the UCS files are created, they are encrypted, so that way we can transition anything that is part of the encryption process over with the UCS file. And then we're going to store this information, our master key, our files, into a remote server. So we're going to go verify that the master key now is set up, is stored on the remote server. And as you can see here, it has been. Next, we're going to go over and do our UCS file. Our UCS file is going to back up on our i10800, and it's going to be stored not only on the big IP devices itself, but it will also be stored within the remote server as well. So you'll have 2 points of backup if necessary. We'll go and validate that it is on the remote server here in just a second, but you can see that it's storing it in the temp folder that I've associated to it. And if we look in our remote server, there's the UCS file. Next, we're going to go do the final piece, which is gathering a bunch of information from the big IP using some of our Ansible modules. We're gathering information like the host name. We're verifying that it is the i10800. You can see in the marketing name, that is the device name that's associated to it. We want to get the self IP information. We want to get the VLAN information off the device so that when we create our Tenant OS partition, it has the associated VLANs created in the chassis partition as well. Now in stages 3 through 4, we're going to disable our source big IP. We're going to create the VLANs and the Tenant OS partition. So first thing we need to do is disable our big IP, our i10800. We don't want to have duplicate IP addresses. This could be done at any time, but we're doing it in this specific point in time, so that way when we do our restoration and all of that, there won't be any duplicate IP addresses. We're going to verify that all the files are ready to be part of the migration process. The inventory file, the master key file, as well as the UCS file are stored in the remote server. The information that we gathered is all there. So now we can use that information to create VLANs and get all the information that we need to create the appropriate Tenant OS partition. And as you can see here, the code has been launched, so that way it has created some of the VLANs that were pulled from the information of the previous device, like VLAN 3004, 102. And as we go into our tenant, we can see that the associated VLAN 102 and 3004 are assigned to it. We also have a management VLAN 3014 with a management IP address that's different than the other device, so that way we avoid conflicts. This is programmed from the template within Ansible Automation Platform. This is something that's done separately to prevent any duplicate IPs. We'll go back into our workflow, and then the tenant is actually starting up and running. It may take a little bit of time for these tenants to spin up, so we need to be a little bit patient while the F5OS tenant is spinning up. Just as part of the process, we're going to do some ping tests, make sure that you can see how the process is going. We're going to speed it up so that way the ping tests and all that, they'll go rapid in this specific case, but you'll be able to see how everything's coming up. Pings are starting to work now. The access to the page is now visible. So the other thing to note, the host name is localhost, and it's got the address of 14.85, which we programmed for this specific Tenant OS partition. The next part, stage 5 through 6, is the actual restoration of the master key, the crypto key, and the UCS on the new Tenant OS partition. So the first thing that we need to do is set the master key from our original i10800 device into the new Tenant OS partition. You can see that we're reading in the file. We see the old key that we got from the i10800. Now we're looking at the existing key that's on that new Tenant OS partition. We're going to write the old key to it, so that way it overwrites the existing key. And then we're also going to set the crypto password like we did before to make sure that the UCS file decrypts correctly. And then we're going to save the changes on the destination big IP, the F5OS tenant device, and then verify that the master key actually has been changed so that everything is ready for the UCS restoration. The last piece is the actual UCS restoration point. We're going to upload our UCS file from our remote server into the big IP instance, and then we're going to run a special command for migration, and it will have a different flag associated to it. We're going to let a little time pass so that way we can see everything. Inside of the code here, you will also see that the versions have changed from 15.1.10 to 17.5, and the host names have changed. It knows that the UCS file is from an older configuration. It's upgrading it to the newer version. And as we look in our big IP instance now, you can see that it's got a chassis serial number. It's got the 17.5. It's got its same host name. It's in a blade configuration compared to the i10800, which is a singular chassis. It's got all the VLANs associated to it from the original configuration. And if we go look at our virtual servers, now we can see that all of our tenants are there. Some are functional, some are not, just like we did in the i10800. We don't have any conflicting IP addresses of the old one and the new one because we downed the old one's TMM configuration. The management address was changed purposefully to ensure that we didn't have any conflicts because both devices are functioning still. And if we go into the resource provisioning, LTM, ASM, and APM are still provisioned on it. So we have our backup file still located on it, so that if we did need to do anything with it, we have that as a third point now of backup capability. But the full process is now completed. The migration has fully been done. You can see in these time slots here how long each part of the process took. The creation and the restoration of the Velos partition took the longest, and as you can see, the migration time was 23 minutes, 36 seconds. We have now completed our full migration from the iSeries chassis to our Velos Tenant OS partition. I hope this was informational, and thank you for your time.